Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Redux. What if? And today, I got another what if for y'all. This is gonna be what if Sukuna was in Young Justice Part 4. Without any further ado, I just want to say thank y'all for keeping my channel alive. I felt like I've been taking like a long ass break, but I'm finna do like a double upload, like I said I was gonna do, and I hope y'all enjoy these what ifs that I'm really pushing out, man. I got another what if for y'all too coming. So actually no, I'm gonna just post another part because yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do best and push these what ifs out towards y'all. So I might drop like a episode with this, 2 episodes, since I already got them in the chamber. Might as well. So without any further ado, I'm gonna let this intro play and we finna get into this what if. Now, if you know where we left off for the Sukuna and Young Justice what if, right? We left off on the episode Schooled. No, not Schooled. I believe it's what is it? Fucking Infiltrator. Correct me if I'm wrong. I gotta look at these episode names. I'm not gonna hold you because yeah, I'm over here tweaking out a little bit. But basically, we basically left off at the end of part 3. It's just to make that shit like a little better because I was tripping a little bit. So now, if y'all know Young Justice episodes, we're still in season 1. So this is gonna be, episode 7 of season 1, which is Denial. And this is, I'm basically gonna, yeah, we're just gonna say that the episodes are gonna be in parts, but depending how long I cover it, I might do like a 2-episode part. Like I already explained it in the first episode of the what if, so we already established that. But yeah, let me just hop right into this bitch, right? So we gonna open up the scene at Mount Justice at, we're gonna say it's August 7:39 p.m. right? So the team is just finishing up a training session with Red Tornado, and we're gonna say that Batman comes on a Mount Justice computer as he looks grim as usual, but the team could tell that Batman's is like a little bit more grimmer than usual, if that makes sense per se. Hold on, let me where my thing at, bro? Where is my shit at? Where's my shit at? There it is. Hold on, let me open this real quick because this shit finna hit different in a minute. But basically, pretty much Batman goes on the computer and says that let's just say he was informing the team that 106-year-old former sorcerer, soon to be former sorcerer, Dr. Fate has disappeared. It's not an official mission yet, as he says in canon, but he needs volunteers. And as soon as Sukuna heard that Kent went missing, he got a little bit more quieter than usual, right? He got a little bit more quieter than usual. He like goes unnaturally quiet because in his head he's like, ain't no way this actually just happened. Like he's not believing it right now. He's like, he's trying to make himself seem like everything is okay, that maybe it's just an exaggeration, but he's over here just trying to like get his mind right. And so after that, Red Tornado brings up a hollow image of Kent Nelson and the Fate helmet, right? And after that, Wally, quips, he was like, in canon, he says that, wow, he doesn't look a day over 90. And, as Sukuna glares, like his eyes are like fuming with silent anger. That's when Wally tones it down as he gets kind of like, scared a little bit. And as Red Tornado continues to, Red Tornado continues on what was going on. He gives them the key to Fate's tower, as Sukuna knows like every inch of that tower since he was kind of raised by Dr. Fate, right? Hold on. This shit is good as fuck, bro. It's nothing like some like you got a bag of beef jerky as a snack as you doing these what is, man. Hold on. Let me take another bite and we finna get right back into it. I'm not cutting this out, bro. You already know I keep it a buck. I mean, if I'm thirsty, I'm finna drink. If I'm eating, I'm finna eat. I'm telling you, this shit be busting, man. I'm gonna put y'all boys on. This is some teriyaki sweet and spicy beef jerky I'm eating right now. So yeah, go fuck with it, man. This ain't no promotion, by the way. I'm just telling you like what it is and what it isn't. So yeah. All right, that's enough of that. Now, after Red Tornado hands the key to Sukuna, since Red Tornado knows that, you know, Sukuna basically knows the layout of everything more so than the other team, including Batman himself, because even Batman hasn't been to the Fate Tower, the Tower of Fate, right? Without a word, Sukuna turns around, and it's like that anime shadow when somebody is mad. You don't see their face, but you can see like those like that menacing aura. That's what happens. He turns straight towards the bioship, and he tries to keep himself calm as the team follows behind, and the team follows behind as they get in the bioship, and they take off to go to the Tower of Fate. Next scene we cut to as they arrive at the Tower of Fate, which is Salem, right? They use the key. Well, first they try to find the Tower of Fate, which is basically like, you know, non-existent, because, you know, it's blended in as it shifts between dimensions, basically, right? And so they basically have to like feel around for it and believe that the Fate Tower is right in front of them with the key. And so after that, Wally scans it with his goggles, as it's like a thermal vision, as he was saying that, you know, maybe that the tower is hidden behind some cloaking technology, right? And that's when was it Aqualad says, Sukuna, do you have any ideas? He was like, just stand back and watch, because apparently Wally is not believing that it's there. So can you try to, you know, this is Sukuna like being really, really calm and angry at the same time. But it's going to build up, so just wait. So grabs the key from Wally, saying that's not how you do it. And Sukuna grabs the key, breathes in and out, and thrusts it forward, and the Tower of Fate is revealed as he unlocks the door and opens it, right? So after that, they walk into a small room that's like, you know, that's basically like a with the fireplace, some books on the side, some jazz playing, you know, basically like a gathering room, or like a man cave room, right? And so that's when Kent, the hologram, the magical version of Kent, appears as he says, like, you know, what are you here for, or who are you seeking to find, right? He said that he basically he's saying, why have you come here? That's when Wally, determined to impress Miss Martian, as he does in canon, says that we are true believers and we are here to find Dr. Fate, as the spectral version of Kent, you know, basically looks down, frowns, and shakes his head, as, you know, the floor just, you know, gives out as it does in canon, and they directly falling into a lava pit, right? And so after that, Miss Martian, actually no, Miss Martian is like, fainting since she has a weakness to heat. Well, not heat, but it's basically like fire, right? Which doesn't make sense because lava is, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that because, yeah. Anyway, basically, Miss Martian's is like feeling the effects because Green Martian's weakness is like fire or like extreme amounts of heat, I guess, which is kind of crazy, but everything goes to Canada as Superboy catches himself and holds himself, but he burns his boots, right? As he was saying that those are his favorite boots with Artemis, flinging her arrow into the wall, so she catches herself, and Sukuna just like basically just punches his fist through the fucking ground as he catches himself with as he says that as what is it, as he basically says, Sukuna clutches up as he says, "We're here to find Kent Nelson," as everything's like stops, and then the lava just like sinks into the ground, disappearing, having a door, right? And so that's when what is it, after that, after they get down to the ground, which is like super cool for some reason, as Wally's still giving his explanation on maybe maybe it just super cooled or something. That's when what is it, that's when after what is it, after that whole thing got dealt with, the lava's gone. That's when Artemis basically gets mad at Wally for saying that his stupid stunt almost got Miss Martian and everybody killed, with Wally saying he admits to lying about believing in magic because basically his world is explained by science. Like everything that he knows is explained by science, which is understandable. But when you got Dr. Fate that is literally a fucking magical god, it's kind of like, hey, you gotta like give some leeway on that. But that's when Artemis was like still giving him a major like talking to, and then that's when Sukuna just damn near flash steps and grabs Wally by his uniform, slamming him against the wall. And then that's when Sukuna, that's when his nails started getting longer and his tattoos started like forming on his body. Because as I said, like when he locks in, that's when he starts resembling a hidden era of Sukuna, except for the extra arms. He doesn't have the extra arms or that mouth on his stomach. He does have some eyes on his cheeks though, when he like gets super angry or when he channels his inner self, right? So after that, he started going through the transformation. His eyes started showing, his black marks started stretching everywhere, and then that's when his hair started spiking up, the nails getting long, almost piercing through Wally's skin, right? Because the way he's grabbing him. And then that's when Wally raises his hands at surrender. He's like, I didn't mean to. He was like, you think I care about that? We have somebody missing. And when it comes to the Tower of Fate, you have to believe. You can't give no BS excuses. And then that's when like his cursed energy started flaring up. And then that's when Artemis freezes up, and because she never seen a Sukuna this upset. Nobody's seen a Sukuna this upset as Calder, aka Aqualad, puts his hand on his shoulder. He was like, Sukuna, we understand your frustration, but please do not let your emotions get out of control. We understand that Kent Nelson, Dr. Fate, means a whole lot to you than we could ever imagine. but for our sake and for your teammates' sake, please let him go. And then that's when Sukuna that's when Sukuna begins to he takes a deep breath and lets Wally go, as his transformation starts to de-transform, as he turns to Calder and says that he's sorry. And then he walks away, giving himself some space between Wally, and he hangs in the front, but like tries not to let it get over to him. And then that's when Sukuna walks by Wally as he was saying, your ego could have cost us everything. And then that's when he basically just keeps walking as they open up the door. That's when Wally says, wait, the lava from the backdraft can flood everything again, but what is it? It's like a cold wonderland, right? So after that they basically begin walking in the snow, right? They begin walking in the snow, and it's just like a swirling, snowy landscape as they come towards a river. And then that's when they were saying that it's super cold and they expect them to dive in the river, as Sukuna says, there's nothing to be afraid of when you have fate, or when you have belief everything's gonna be okay in the Tower of Fate. And so Sukuna takes the lead as he runs and jumps into the river, which is basically like a portal, leading them basically to the inside of Tower of Fate, as there's multiple doors, and they just follow Sukuna's lead, as Sukuna's just silently looking at the door and just walking by it until he sees a broken door, and he opens it to the rooftop, and they get to the roof, and they see what is it? And they see Abracadabra and Clarion, fighting with Kent Nelson, that he's defending the helmet since they not letting him put the helmet on. They basically captured him and they start torturing him. And so that's when Sukuna sees it. And then that's when Clarion was like, he senses Sukuna's cursed energy as he looks at Sukuna. He was like, you're different from the rest. I can sense the malice that you have in your heart. And then that's when Sukuna says, the only thing that's malicing is how I'm going to rip you apart if you do not let him go. And then that's when Kent suddenly surges out with this brighting light. And so that's when Kent teleports himself away from Abracadabra and Clarion, right? As they begin to fight, which Clarion and Abracadabra are using magic. Well, Clarion's using magic. Abracadabra uses technology to mimic magic, right? And so as that happens, Kent makes another casting another spell, which engulfs the whole battle arena on top of the Tower of Fate, right? And so after that, him and Sukuna and Wally are in a different spatial, a different pocket dimension at the moment. And so that's when Kent says that he's proud that he came from him, because for a second he thought that he don't forgot about his old man. And then that's when Sukuna said, I didn't forget about you. When I heard, I came as soon as I could. He said, why would you think I would forget about you? He was like, I didn't want to bother you with my own matters. He was like, I see you've been making friends and, liking people. And then that's when Sukuna started to tear up a little bit. He was like, I just tried to take what you taught me and try not to, hate everything and give people a chance, even though they can screw up sometimes, thinking about Wally and what happened. He was like, but other than that, I'm glad that you're okay, that we found you. We could fight our way out of here beat these guys and you could be okay. And then that's when Kent said he knew he could count on him as the Kane starts to like disappear, as he was like, but Sukuna, this time I don't think I'll be able to fight this battle. He said every battle we have fought together, whether it be alone or you assisting me, sadly this battle is one of them that he can't win right now. And so that's when Sukuna was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, I'm 106 years old, and even though I don't age, these brittle bones are getting really old. And Sukuna was like, does that mean you're going to... He was like, no, I'm not gonna, die. I'm just gonna go with, a ninja, right? And so I think that's his name, right? And so that's when he was like, but if you go, I won't have anybody. And so that's when Kent Nelson was like, you do have everybody. You have all those teammates of yours, your friends, Superboy, McGann, Wally, Robin, and Artemis. He was like, and it looks like Artemis is, one of those girls that you can't let go. Maybe he was like, I've been watching you. It seems like she knows how to handle that stubborn attitude of yours. And then that's when Sukuna started like, smirking and giggling a little bit, like a laugh to hide the pain, right? And so that's when he says that, he's really proud of Sukuna and how far he's growing. He was like, remember to, you practice your abilities, because he knows that because Sukuna could get stronger than even him if he keeps his practices. And as Kent started to fade away, since his cane was like burning out fast, that's when Kent was like, Sukuna, you've made me the happiest man that I could ever be. And my last, we'll say his last 18 years, we'll make him 118 for this sake. Sukuna's still like relatively 15, 16, right? Since it's like the time frame of the Young Justice, right? And so he says that he's proud of Sukuna in every way, how he overcame his evil nature with his powers, and even though he's still fighting it, he still chooses to do good at the end of the day. Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp. And so inside that, like, that's when Sukuna's like, Sukuna's memory started flashing back, as that's when Sukuna was like, just hold on, I could heal this. I can do something. He was like, he said, if you only had reverse curse technique, maybe, or reverse curse energy, maybe, but even if he did, he said that this is his time, this is his fate, so he'll let fate take him. And so that's when Kent said, continue to be the man that I know you'll become one day, and don't forget, I'm always here. Even if it's not in physical, I'll always be in your heart. And then that's when he tapped Sukuna's heart, right? And then that's when Sukuna actually called Kent dad for the first time. And that's when Kent started tearing up, as he said that he's honored to have that title. He said, even though it took Sukuna to come around for a while, he couldn't be more happier than to hear him call him dad. And then that's when he looked back at Wally, as he said, put the helmet on and believe. And then after that, that's when Kent had one last thing to say, as he told Sukuna that, don't let your hatred consume you. He said, try try not to hate people too much. He said, and give me and your mother some grandkids if you ever can. Squeezing out one last joke before he passes. And then he said, I'll always be here. And then that's when that's when he said he'll always be here. And then he said, tell Enza I'm coming home, but not too soon. And so he just he said, and before I go, take care of the helmet. Remember to polish it with the, and that's when Sukuna said, with the glass cleaner, even though it sounds, crazy, it still polishes nice with glass cleaner. And then that's when Kent chuckles, and then he says, that's a good boy. He's a good boy. Not like that, but like, like a term of endearment for Sukuna as he his cat is gone. He took his last breath, and then that's when Sukuna, screams "Dad" as he's trying to, shake Kent awake, but his spirit's gone. Since the cane burnt out, his spirit's gone. And then that's when Sukuna, just hugs what is it? He hugs his body as he was like he like screaming "Dad!" as he was just filled with like love and like grieving. And so that's when he hugs Kent's body as his curse energy begins to flare up, and knowing that he didn't want to like desecrate the body in any way, he gently places the body down, and then he clenches his fist so hard blood begins to drip out of him, and then it starts steaming because of all the heat that his cursed energy is giving off. So his aura is like a reddish cursed energy with a black outline on it. It's like a reddish with flicks of blue, right? And so that's when it like became like this light dark red, right? And so that's when Sukuna says, no, not Sukuna, that's when Clarion was like, oops, looks like the old man croaked. That's what he gets for trying to play hero without being prepared or what the consequences were. He was like, now, if you could be a good kiddo, I might spare you if you he says if you give me that piece of tin can of a helmet, and I might spare your life. And he didn't even get to finish the sentence as Sukuna just freaking flash steps and knees this man in his chin, making Clarion fly back as he flips and catches himself as he's rocked by that shit because Sukuna's not holding it back no more. He says, now, he said, you caught me off guard. That isn't fair. As Sukuna just blips back up, he has a divergent fist, but he turns that shit into a black flash as it connects with Clarion's jaw, and it's just like a sound barrier that just gets shooken, like the whole upper tower of fate shakes, right? And then he just puts all his anger and frustration saying, you'll pay for this. And so he just black flash. It's just like it warps, like it distorts reality for like 1 second, and it's just pow, boom, huge explosion. Clarion still regains his composure from that, but he's really hurt by that as he was like, damn you, damn all of you. And then that's when he powers up, and then that's when he starts like sensing Sukuna's energy as it's like low-key kind of rivaling his own, not like in a magical sense but like a aura sense, because like when original people feel his aura, they can feel like the hatred. But since Clarion knows Sukuna's magic works off of negative emotion, he can feel all the negative emotion and anger that he's channeling as Sukuna slowly raises his gaze as the black marks, reaches their max, as he looks like Sukuna, Sukuna looks like Sukuna, right? And what I mean by that is basically like he has the black marks on and the eyes are showing, and some extra parts are like on his hands, like the mouths occasionally they pop out, but he chooses to hide them. And for further reference, Sukuna can go into Hidden Era transformation. That's like his dark side, if I'm trying to make it like that. But for this, what if he doesn't like the extra arms? So when he transforms into it, the only extra features he has are the eyes, and the black marks and hands, like they get really dark and they kind of glow, so they do glow, and his nails get longer, and his teeth get sharper, his canine teeth get sharper. So that's pretty much it. But other than that, yeah, it's like, just think of it like as Yuji. Just think of it as like Sukuna in control of Yuji. That's basically what I could put it to. And so that's when Sukuna's eyes begin to glow dark, like a deep menacing red, as they pierce through the smoke that after that black flash that he did. He lowly says that you will pay for what you done, as his hands start to form curse energy, right? But then that's when Sukuna's hands go to the side, and he does the fashioned callback to when Sukuna first did Fuga, the fire arrow, right? And so that's when he grabs his hand, and then he turns his curse energy into he just wanted to make it super duper hot, right? And so he swings his arm around like he did to Gojo with the fire surrounding him. And then for callback purposes, he watched Kent control fire, like some chaos fire when he was younger, and Kent did those signs that Sukuna did in JJK when he was doing a fire arrow. And so in memory of Kent, he decided that was going to be his way to do Fuga, right? So he mimics the motions that Kent has done before, just observing and watching Kent as he does it. And he says as he does it, everything begins to heat up and melt around this fiery aura that Sukuna did. And Wally just right behind him as he grabs the the body of Kent, not wanting it to be desecrated or damaged in any way. And so that's when what Sukuna compresses it, and then that's when a flaming line comes up, and then he pulls his hand back in an arrow, like a bow and arrow motion, and then that's when he says it. He says fugue, and so that's when he shoots the arrow, and that's when this arrow just shoots fast as shit, as it's just this air aura around it, as Clarion just basically puts up a shield, but it was too late, as that's when he sees the arrow as it's shaped as like a phoenix at the tail end of it. And then that's when Clarion it slams into a shield, and then that's when this huge ass explosion just happens, as it's just it's I can't even think of it. Imagine impact frames, right? That's the only way I can put it. The impact frames and everything just melting in sight, right? just imagine the impact frames, and as like these structural things just like melting as everything just like blows into like geometrical shapes and shit, right? So that's basically what happened. So that's when Clarion realized that this fire arrow is too much, so he took like the brunt force of the explosion as it seared him, right? And so he's thinking in his head as he was like, this mortal is actually hurting me, and then that's when he screams like, ah! And then everything, like those impact frames where you get engulfed by the blast, and it's like you're showing you like in like pencil shades with the white background as it looks like you're being erased from existence. That's basically what happened, and the smoke clears. And so there's like some, real melted debris, as there's some like a lava pool where Sukuna's standing because of the heat, right? And so that's when Clarion got out the rubble, as half his like, shit is burnt off. Like half his like clothes and some of his skin is burnt as he started healing, but it was like healing slowly because that shit really packed an impact. As he was breathing heavy, he was like, you burned me. And then that's when he started thinking, he was like, only few people could ever do that. And then that's when Sukuna was like panting heavy because he used a lot of cursed energy for that one. And so that's when Wally put on the helmet of fate and subdued. That's when Wally put on a helmet of fate as he was saying, Clarion the Witch Boy, fate has intervened, and now it is fate's job to send you back to where you belong. So he uses like this hand sign where he has Clarion in the chains of fate, and then forcefully sends him back to his dimension along with his cat. As he was low-key resisting, he was like, Naboo, you and I will have our final fight sooner or later. He was like, there's things that you just can't stop, but I'll let you claim this victory for today, as he was still injured and smoking. And that's when the cat jumps into the portal, along with Clarion getting forcefully sent back. And then that's when Dr. Fate, comes back, and so after that, he lands on the ground and saying that the world needs fate. But then, after some, time passing, Sukuna says that, you shouldn't let, a non-believer, use the helmet of fate since it conflicts with your interests. And then he said, perhaps you are right. And so, but still, fate needs me. And so that's when fate says, go silent. And then Wally's able to take the helmet off. And then that's when Sukuna and everybody was like, how are you able to take the helmet off of you? Fate never let Doctor, they call him Naboo. Naboo never lets anyone go. And then that's when Wally said that Kent was there, and he said he'll keep Naboo company. And so that's when Sukuna asked Wally if he could have the helmet, and he holds the helmet as he slightly was about to cry, but he holds himself back, right? And so that's when after the mission, Batman debriefs and he apologizes to Sukuna as they hold a funeral for Kent, which Sukuna was the first one to show up and just, get all the grieving, that he felt. He didn't cry, he's still holding it in. And so that's when he decided that, his hatred is consuming him, but for Kent's sake, he won't hate people too much. And then that's when after the funeral happened, that's when Sukuna went to like Wally's souvenir shelf. And then that's when Sukuna was just looking at all the souvenirs, and then that's when Wally said, he was like, "You thinking about, putting it up here?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I just looking for the perfect spot to, you know, set it at." And then that's when Wally zips by and, like perfectly aligns everything, you know, and then giving a special space in the middle for the helmet of fate, right? And so that's when Kid Flash, aka Wally, was like, "Sukuna, I'm sorry." He was like, "It's okay." He was like, "You're fine." He was like, "I'm sorry that I almost, put my hand through you." And then that's when Wally was like, "Yeah, let's try not to do that again." He was like, "I should be the one saying I'm sorry." He was like, yeah, he was just, that's when Sukuna just looks like sad and like tired. Like he's just sad and tired. He was like, "Just make it count." He was like, he gave his life for both of us, for everybody. He was like, "So just don't let it be for nothing." And then that's when Wally said, "I promise." And so they shook each other's hand, and then that's when Wally said he'll let him do the honors. Sukuna put the helmet of fate in the middle as he bows deeply for Kent, the helmet of fate. And then that's when as he was walking out, he said, "Goodbye, Dad." He was like, "Hopefully I can make you proud." And so that's when what is it? He walks away, and that's when he walks away, and then he sets the lights till 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes the lights turn off, and then that's when we fade to black. Hope y'all like the what if I had for y'all. I hope y'all really like this what if, man. If y'all did, thumbs up the video. This is part 4 of What If Sukuna Was in Young Justice. Hopefully y'all liked what I did here. Sukuna unlocked a new ability, so all he needs to do is, unlock Dismantle. No, he already has Dismantle. Cleave, and what is it? He needs to unlock Cleave. He has Fuga, and Domain Expansion, and Reverse Curse Technique, or Reverse Curse Energy, so he could heal himself. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I got what is it? Invincible X Superman Part 2 coming up. So this is gonna be a double upload. After I finish this what if, I'm gonna be double uploading the Superman X Invincible Part 2 and this what if. So y'all gotta double upload. I might even do a triple upload depending how I'm feeling, but I'm just trying not to overwork myself, and since everything that I got going on, I'm still trying to make time for my YouTube videos and my Redux game. I have not forgotten about y'all, I promise. But there's just like a lot of things going on, so I just need y'all to work with me. Anyway, run this video up, man. If we get to like 5 likes on this shit, bro, I'll drop like what is it? Like a one-shot movie. Like a one-shot movie on this, or anything y'all have in mind doing a one-shot movie on. Anyway, I don't know what else to say besides thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for sticking with me, even though sometimes I can be lacking on my upload schedule. But I still appreciate every single one of y'all that are subscribed, bro. Like, y'all really are some goated people, man. I feel like 75 is a lot of people. And anything that goes over like 30 views, or maybe if it peaks at 100, I think that shit goes viral. But without any further ado, man, I really appreciate y'all. I might stream on a channel tonight. I might play some Uncharted. This is going to be my first time playing Uncharted, but I just appreciate y'all for all the love and support. And this is Redux signing out.